Yeah, I know both of them a little bit. I've trained with them, and of course I've studied all of their fights. And to be honest, I don't really see Khamzat getting him out of there early.
If you were licensed in unarmed combat and you were signed to the UFC, and another guy that is licensed in unarmed combat and signed to the UFC in your same weight class is DMing with your wife, you have to fight.
Khamzat Chimaev's middleweight victory stunned the entire UFC, and now top stars are already queuing up for him. Former opponent Robert Whittaker mentioned a very interesting name that could actually challenge Khamzat big time. He cited a fighter with the same origin, Raw Wrestling, that makes it such a thrilling showdown.
You know what? And I know they were already trying to sell it out. Derrida. I think Derrida's got a good shot. Because I think the person that has given Chimaev the closest fight, in my opinion, has been when he fought Gilbert Burns.
Gilbert Burns, yeah.
So and that was because Chimaev was respectful and cautious of Gilbert's jiu-jitsu game.
Yeah.
And Derrida is a ground player. He's a tall bottom player jiu-jitsu guy. And then if he does respect his ground, like he did in the Burns fight, and it becomes like a bit of a slugfest, I think Derrida's really unconventional. Like he's got some annoying attacks and shots that might give Chimaev some grief. But
that man is none other than Reinier de Ridder. Kamaru Usman supported this argument, stating de Ridder possesses the ability to provide Khamzat with real issues in the cage. With Khamzat set to compete again sometime later this year in Abu Dhabi, the timing makes it all the more possible.
But if Khamzat Chimaev wants to fight quickly in October, then the only other guy out there right now that's ready to step in, that has proven that, is RDR, Reinier de Ridder. And RDR just taking out former champion in Robert Whittaker, who's still really good in that division, still at the top of that division. It goes to show you that he's ready, and let's not forget, 2 division champion in a different organization. And coming over here and coming over here and dealing with everyone, I think if Khamzat wants to fight that soon, then you put RDR in there.
Chael Sonnen also had a say in this, supporting the notion of bringing Reinier de Ridder over for the challenge. Sonnen, who is used to seeing interesting stylistic matches, thinks that this one may be one of the few in which fans don't really know the winner. With both competitors having a strong grappling background, it's a test of who does a better job of imposing their will.
I think we can all agree that the winner of Caio and Imanov is the #1 contender, but there's a twist. Dana announced that he is likely to take Chimaev to Abu Dhabi. So the first thing I did is grab the calendar, look at the date of Abu Dhabi. Well, it's in 5 weeks. So first off, very quick, no, it's in 9. It's in 9 weeks. But don't forget, the fight with Imanov and Barala is in 3 weeks, so it would give them 6 weeks. We just don't generally see a turnaround like that. And then we would be seeing it for 2 guys, unless we're wrong that Caio and Imanov is a #1 contenders fight. And if we are wrong about that, there's only one other guy to look to, and that's RDR.
Reinier himself did not avoid the chatter either. Rather than remaining quiet, de Ridder expressed obvious interest in entering the octagon to fight the new middleweight king. Having an established track record in 1 championship, he is confident of the challenge. De Ridder said Khamzat never had to face a wrestler with his same skill set and level-headedness. For fans, it just means more excitement knowing both fighters are already mentally prepared to clash sooner than later.
Yeah, I was just training with Strickland over the last couple of weeks, so it wouldn't be as nice to call him out, I guess. But why not Khamzat? That'd be a nice matchup, grappling-wise. Yeah, it'd be cool.
More reactions fueling this potential bout. Reinier reminded everyone that he has already trained with Khamzat. Based on his experience, he knows precisely what makes Khamzat tough, but also realizes the vulnerabilities that can be taken advantage of. In the opinion of RDR, it isn't impossible to fight Khamzat, and his skill set perfectly fits to make the champion struggle. This unequivocal statement generated further interest because it's unusual for a person who trained with Khamzat to publicly state that they would beat him.
Yeah, I know both of them a little bit. I've trained with them, and of course I've studied all of their fights. And to be honest, I don't really see Khamzat getting him out of there early.
Khamzat, on the other hand, doesn't appear to be opposed to this notion either. Usually he closes off discussion of certain bouts, but in this case he's been open. For Khamzat, there's really just one thing that matters: the money. If the bout is going to pay the proper check, he'll do it. This way of thinking makes the RDR bout a lot more plausible, particularly if the UFC recognizes the worldwide crossover appeal.
I don't care, so whatever Dana says, so we go for that. Where is the money? I go for that, man. So I like money more.
One fight Khamzat himself discussed specifically, however, is a fight against Alex Pereira. Pereira's striking is top of the world, and the stylistic clash would move huge numbers. Khamzat is aware that Pereira is a proven champion with knockout capability, and that makes him the most feared striker he might fight. By taking him out, Khamzat demonstrated that he's not merely pursuing gimme fights. He's seeking fights that validate legacies, fights that give him the star power and respect he's always pursued.
Who do you think that is out there that could beat Alex? I think you have the style.
I've been always open for that, so I know stylistically this match for me is much easier than other guys, you know. But in striking, I'm honest, I know the guy can knock me out, you know, but I'm one of the best grappler, best wrestler.
Yeah.
He's not that.
Teddy Atlas had another compelling proposal, mentioning Luffy Hernandez. Atlas complimented Hernandez on how he can entertain the crowd with his skills in striking and aggressive pressure. He stated Luffy is that kind of brawler who would bring disorder to the fight and put his opponent in awkward situations. That kind of energy against Khamzat would provide viewers with a memorable fight. Although Hernandez is not the first name one would think of, Atlas feels that his explosiveness has a good chance to make it serious.
Dominant, just kind of like Hernandez. And we didn't, you know, nobody expected that to be that dominant. But the Hernandez domination was a little bit more exciting. Because it was the domination with not just on the floor with grappling and wrestling and where he suffocated the other guy and gave no shot. It was with striking, it was with a combination of things. It just had a little bit more theater to it, excitement. There was almost no theater to this one with Chimaev.
More surprisingly, Hernandez himself was interested in fighting Khamzat. Rather than keeping quiet, he described specifically how his style would be if he ever received the call. Hernandez indicated he would not play Khamzat's style, but rather draw him into striking exchanges. He conceded that Khamzat is dangerous in all locations, but asserted that he's not intimidated. This kind of confidence impressed many fans, and now they perceive Hernandez as a fearless and exciting potential challenger to the Chechen champion.
A fight with DDP, if he were to win this weekend, or how you would approach a fight with Khamzat? Would the game plans be different? Would your fighting style be the same?
DDP is like, I think he's more willing to make it, like, mix it up, you know what I mean? Khamzat is like diving at your legs, so you're gonna have to, like, at least wrestling defend and jiu-jitsu defend, I think, for 2 rounds before you'd have to fight him. And then DDP's like, I think you take it anywhere with him, he is fine, so it'd be a fun fight stylistically, I think, against him.
Alternatively, MMA Guru referenced a completely different fighter, Nassourdine Imavov. Guru contended that Imavov's fighting style is specifically designed to annoy Khamzat, particularly with his distance management and counter-striking. He opined that Imavov is youthful, quick-witted, and can reveal gaps in the game of Khamzat. Fans immediately debated this proposition on social media, where some agreed that Imavov possesses the ideal fighting style, while others questioned his experience. Nevertheless, his name provides another choice on the increasing list of possible future contenders for the middleweight title.
I think it's going to at least be about 5 months, and I reckon they're going to book Khamzat Chimaev versus Nassourdine Imavov in January, and that's what we're looking forward to as the next title fight of the middleweight division. So I reckon that's what they're going to do. Nassourdine Imavov's fighting Caio Borralho in September, in a couple of weeks from now, actually, in Paris. They just had Khamzat Chimaev win the belt against Dricus du Plessis, so why not have Khamzat Chimaev be in the crowd on the Paris card, try and build it up, get him in the area. I reckon that's what you should do. You should try and tie Khamzat Chimaev to be involved with the Imavov versus Beraljo fight.
Tim Welch also had an opinion, agreeing with Guru and supporting Imavov over Khamzat. He stressed that Imavov possesses a calmness most fighters do not, one that would allow him to ride out Khamzat's early attack. In the estimation of Welch, if Imavov can ride out the first wave, he possesses the skills to take Khamzat into deeper waters. This type of analysis makes the fight all the more intriguing because it's not hype, it's strategy. Imavov's quiet style might well be Khamzat's biggest issue.
I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see Dracus for another year or something. You could do, I mean, I know Reiner de Ridder's not going to want to wait. Reiner de Ridder was saying, hey, let's fight. He was calling out Paulo Costa. There's Imavov. They'll probably try to set up Imavov versus Khamzat.
One narrative that is really building up a buzz among fans, however, is Paulo Costa versus Khamzat. Costa has exhibited a serious beef with the Chechen sensation, barking consistently at him. Their beef personally makes this bout more than just another fight. It's a grudge match waiting to blow. Costa has already stated he will fight Khamzat whenever. The feud, the tension, and the heat behind the rivalry could turn this into one of the biggest middleweight fights in the UFC.
I hate this I hate this guy. I want to fight him. I want to take everything that he has. I want to take because I truly believe I'm one of the worst opponents for him because I'm strong. I never go back. I never regret. I have a strong hips, strong legs. I can defend takedowns very well. And I'm gonna make a hell of a fight for him. I think me and Dricus is a kind of perfect fight to beat him.
Chael Sonnen, in proposing RDR, also didn't rule out Paulo Costa as an option. He acknowledged that although the styles would not be as appealing as RDR, the drama between Costa and Khamzat could be a massive money fight. Sonnen pointed out that at times it's not all about technique, sometimes it's all about hate. When two fighters truly hate one another, it generates an enormous amount of fan interest. For this reason, he feels that a Costa fight driven by hate could be an epic UFC show.
If you were licensed in unarmed combat and you were signed to the UFC, and another guy that is licensed in unarmed combat and signed to the UFC in your same weight class is DMing with your wife, you have to fight.
With Khamzat's current confidence level, it would really happen if he accepted a bout with Costa. He comes after embarrassing former champion Dricus du Plessis, demonstrating his superiority to the entire division. Such dominance allows Khamzat to have the luxury of trying various types of challenges. Whether it be a stylistic showdown, such as RDR, or a revenge bout with Costa, Khamzat is at a point where he has the upper hand in terms of narratives. His ascension makes each choice thrilling for the UFC and fans alike.
Sometimes a lot of fans talk about Dricus and about how strong he is. Compared to some of the other guys you fought, was he very strong or not really?
Nah, not like people talking about, so could take him down like anyone else.
Not all are on board, however. MMA Guru expressed fears that Khamzat's title reign could prove to be the dullest championship reign in UFC history. He contends that if Khamzat wrestles only and dominates without thrill, fans may become bored. Guru thinks the UFC must exercise caution in matchmaking to keep Khamzat's bouts interesting. This opinion drew criticism because although Khamzat is the boss, others opine that his style may get too monotonous if adversaries can't present him with any genuine challenges.
Listen, next time Chimaev's saying, I kill everybody, but I got to kill everybody, I'm just gonna like smirk and go, all right, buddy. You're gonna have to prove it in this next one, okay? Because ain't nobody dying from any of those punches, pal.
He was able to beat a very, very tough Dricus. I just wish he would have progressed more with his jiu-jitsu.
And this is a crazy statement to say. Try and hurt your opponent in a mixed martial arts fight.
If you don't want to watch grappling, don't watch the fight. But the casual like, oh, well, DJ, I paid $79.99. Hey, guess what, buddy? I pay too. Do you think I give two f***s about all these commercials? If I don't want to watch it, I get up and go get myself some chocolate ice cream. I hate chocolate, actually. I get myself some Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
But an example of something nice in your kitchen, of course. Yeah. Anything would have worked there. You just had to come up with something.
Michael Bisping, though, dismissed those suspicions. He averred that whatever people think, Khamzat's run will be very long-lived. Dominance should not be confused with dullness, Bisping added. It is greatness. He reminded everyone that champions such as Khabib were also knocked for being too dominant, but eventually folks admired their work. Bisping feels shows that Khamzat possesses that same sort of longevity, and fans can look forward to seeing him atop the division for years to come.
This is going to be probably a very long and dominant reign in the middleweight division. And I don't think we've ever seen a dominant wrestler like Khamzat Chimaev in the middleweight division. Typically, it's been strikers. I mean, look at Israel Adesanya, look at Anderson Silva, Rich Franklin. I mean, the list goes on. Yeah, we had Chris Weidman. He was a very good wrestler, defended the belt a few times, to be fair, but still. So yeah, Khamzat Chimaev went out there, dominated the fight. And yeah, there was a couple of times, couple of rounds that could have been 10-8 rounds. And I put that on Twitter and that caused a bit of storm because people don't know how to judge. I went to a seminar and it said, look, listen, there's 3 Ds: damage, duration, and dominance, okay?
Should the UFC introduce fresh blood or retain tried and tested adversaries with background and fire? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and remain locked in for more fight analysis and news.